floral embellished Dolce & Gabbana clutches, Lady Dior crocodile bags and pool float totes at Moschino. Women are spoiled for choice when it comes to picking a favorite among these handbags and the labels they flaunt. According to a media report, women around the world bought over 25 million luxury bags in 2014. And when we zoom into India, the demand has been steadily rising. The women's handbag market was worth 2,000 crores in 2011. It's expected to touch 4,000 crores here in India by 2016. The luxury handbag market is estimated to grow at a compounded annual growth rate of over 17% between 2013 and 2018.
Things have really changed in the last decade or so. Women give a lot of importance to their accessories, and it's not just restricted to garments anymore.
I think the Indian consumers are fairly good with adapting trends. You decide what feels fresh, what feels exciting, and then you just go with that. There's no set idea. It's just like what's exciting.
India is home to some of the most distinctive textiles in the world. And in fact, we produce nearly 63 million pieces of leather goods annually for brands like Coach, Tommy Hilfiger and Etienne Aigner. Despite this, there are still very few Indian designers who make statement bags.
Well, I think handbags is an extremely technical, highly skilled area of accessories, because the tooling is important. So they need templates, they need state-of-the-art machinery, they need perfect stitching. So I think not everybody wants to get into an area which is so labor intensive and also is very heavy on R&D.
And perhaps that's why international brands find it easier to sell luxury accessories that we are not producing.
We don't want to do what those guys do so well. I can't make a bag as good as that.
All of these brands coming in fact, makes the market more open, and it makes it more accepting to different kinds of fashion. These international brands, they do not have an Indian sensibility. I think it's a great combination of a Tarun Tahiliani sari with a Hermes bag. Yes, we would love a Tarun Tahiliani bag as well.
Adapting to the Indian fashion sensibilities is also an added advantage for some of these international labels. Judith Lieber, for example, roped in Indian designer Suneet Verma in 2009 to design sculptural bags for India. These bags are inspired by Indian royalty and opulence. On the other hand, we have the Birkin bag from Hermes that retained its classic design even for the Indian consumer. The line was an instant hit with Bollywood celebrities.
Well, for the longest time, the bag has never quite been on the Indian women's priority list. It was more of a necessity, unlike European and American consumers, where clothes are kept minimalist and bags speak for themselves. But over the last couple of years, a few designers have moved beyond the functionality side of things, allowing us Indian women to make a style statement with some of their creations. And that has definitely been a game changer.
Sabyasachi's leather purses, Manish Arora's quirky and heavily embellished totes, Satya Paul's bling clutches, or the bags from the Ritu Kumar label, hand-embroidered using Shanti Niketan leather. These Indian designer bags are certainly upping the glam.
Perhaps the importance of the bag itself is now being felt in India as the consumer society is growing, the collections are getting more varied.
Napa Dori has come in and they're doing really lovely hand-tooled leather bags. High Design has been doing hand-tooled leather bags for a really long time. So I think you need to have specialized accessories designers.
Indian designers are also venturing online with their products. Karishma Sarna, who has tied up with various online fashion stores, claims that 70% of her sales are online.
Domestic cities, tier 2 cities and towns, places where we didn't have a presence back in the day. Now we have clients reaching out to us. Clients reach out to us from places like Pakistan or Paris or Canada.
If we look at the 1980s, women were heavily influenced by designer labels. Monogrammed bags became huge as consumers started identifying logos from LV, Chanel and Gucci. These classic brands became the new status symbols. On the other hand, high-end backpacks and trunks did not work as well in the Indian market as people didn't believe in investing such a huge amount of money in these styles. In the 90s and early 2000s, everybody's designer handbag was bigger than the next. Philip Lim's oversized Pashli, YSL's hefty kabas, Chanel's vintage leather tote. And now it seems like the style set has quite literally gone to the other extreme. Designer micro bags.
So I'd say it's an investment and it is a trend. It is here to stay for some time. It comes down to the right choices that you have to make while packing your bag. Just restrict to your card and your a phone and your keys. I think that would be good enough.
When we talk about teeny tiny designer bags, there are many brands like Chloe, Valentino, D&G, Furla and Mulberry that have jumped onto the bandwagon, out of which Fendi's Micro Baguette and Peekaboo collections have stood out. These bags are barely 6 inches long, use precious materials like fur and croco. They're also available in colorful options. LV's new Nano collection has also been picking up among fashion bloggers. The range has miniatures of popular classics like the Speedy, No and Alma, as well as newer styles like the W and Soft Locket. But considering most of these bags come with hefty price tags and aren't even big enough to fit a smartphone, these bags might not be practical for the working Indian woman.
With all women who are working, I would like to have it commodious and with some space. So a lot of things can go into it, and very often a file or lots of papers and things that you need. Yes, I would like to have a large bag.
I really think somebody who works or goes out in the day is not really going to switch totally to this. But I think for evening it's great. I think you don't really need anything beyond a micro bag.
And for Indian ladies, these bags will suit their ethnic wear.
So the micro little bags that we do have always been things that people have carried in the evening to wear with the sari or even with the lehenga when they're getting married. Because it is a really more cocktaily thing, because you have a minimum amount that you can put into it. And yes, it is definitely an evening trend.
So with new trends emerging and the demand for bags growing, will India see more designers extending to this category?
Indian women love their brands, they love to flaunt. With an Indian lehenga or a sari, I won't always recommend a bottega. So you do need your ethnic Indian clutch with the Indian embellishment. Then Indian designers would definitely be catering to that aspect as well.
Definitely we are going to witness a much larger range of evening bags, because there are so many functions that happen around weddings and so many places to go to, so many cocktail parties. So an evening wear trend in India with indigenous embroidery is something that we are looking at very seriously.